All right, I'm joined today by David Evans. Thank you for joining me today, Dave.
Thanks, Rob. I appreciate this.
All right, so the goal today is to discuss pretty much all aspects of printing in TurboCAD. I often have customers who come to me saying that they need to take their drawing down to Kinko's and they need to get it printed out on a large format printer, and they struggle with scaling and they're really not sure how to do all of this.
That's me right now.
Okay, excellent. So the goal is to understand how printing actually works in TurboCAD, and we'll take a look at a whole, the different paper spaces and model spaces and the scaling factors and the page setup, and also we're going to be using a PDF printer driver. Before I go any further, do you understand what PDF is?
Yes, I do. It's portable document folders, I believe, or something like that. It's an Adobe product.
Exactly. Just for our other users' sake, I'm just going to give a brief description of what I understand PDF to be. It came around many years ago when there was a need to be able to create a format that was shareable across a Unix platform, a Windows platform, and a printing platform. One of the things that was really particularly challenging for the computer industry at that stage of the game was to get something on the screen to look similar to what it would look like in a printed output. And so there were a whole lot of these passing programs and all sorts of different methods, but you would never get what was on screen would never look exactly like it was printed. And then there was the advent of desktop publishing programs which came out with a PostScript language, and the big advantage of the PostScript language was that your little desktop printer, if it used PostScript, it would be exactly the same output that the huge big printer would use for PostScript output as well. So you could predictably then see at least what was on your local desktop printer was what you would get at the printing press. And so that was a big advancement. And then Adobe came out with this thing called Acrobat. And it was hailed as a breakthrough because it then allowed you to have a PostScript screen printer, basically, so you could print to a format that you could look at the PostScript output not only on your printer but also on the screen. And the big advantage of that was that you could then proof it on screen and see what you would look like on screen, and then it would come out exactly the same on your local printer and at the printing press. And further, it allowed you to then share these documents across multiple platforms, and Adobe gave away this free reader called Adobe Reader, and then they would sell Acrobat, which would create these PDF files, and then anybody could read them. So they made quite a bit of money because they would sell this Acrobat. Since then, there have been a whole lot of competitors that have come out that are also creating PDF files these days, and we're going to be using one of them. And hopefully, when this training course is all packaged up, we're going to be supplying a really neat PDF printer driver. Now, the joy of this PDF thing is that within TurboCAD, you can choose your page size and your page setup and your large format printer and your layout, and you print a PDF, and then you take that PDF file down to Kinko's or whoever is your local printer, and they will have no problem printing it out because it is in this PDF PostScript format.
Correct.
Okay, so that's the goal, is that we're actually going to, put in a drawing here and eventually get out a PDF output at the end.